Okay, after looking at multiple reports and comparing what I saw with my eyes, it may be that I did not blow this account after all. This is telling me on the NinjaTrader website that I've only had a drawdown, a maximum drawdown of $2,200. I could have swore I saw $2,700. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know. Are my eyes fooling me, or is there some kind of glitch on the NinjaTrader platform? But what you're going to see in the video is me in real time going over my trades, thinking that I had blown the account, because that's what it looked like to me. Anyway, there's a lot of mistakes that I need to correct, and so it's important that we go over this anyway, because I need to fix that. Regardless of whether I blew the account of $2,500 drawdown or not, does not matter. This is a demo account I'm still on. I'm getting ready to start the two 50K accounts from Apex. Hopefully next week. I got them linked together, and I'm going to be trading two at the same time. But I thought I would have had blown them. If I had traded today in those, it looked like to me that I would have maxed out the $2,500 threshold on a 50K account. But it's telling me here on NinjaTrader dashboard that I was only down $2,200. So that's good. But on the other hand, I can't trust what I'm seeing in real time, because in real time it looked like I was down 2,700 at one point. Anyway, I need to go over these mistakes in this video and learn from them so I can cut them out. So let's check it out. All right, today was a bad day. Today was my first red day, lost $300. First 5 trades were good. I was up a couple $100 right here. Same style I've been doing, 1 micro at a time, scalping when it goes up. After a long drop into support, buy one, sell higher. Buy one, sell higher. And even right here, I re-entered the third trade. When it came down here, swept liquidity. I waited for liquidity sweep. I bought and I sold once it crossed the profit line on both of those. So that ended up being a win as well. All right, trade 4 and trade 5, very much the same thing. Buy and sell higher, buy on the dip, sell higher. And then this yellow circle is trade 6, and that's where everything goes wrong. Trade 6. This is where everything starts to go wrong. Made some pretty classic mistakes. Again, I don't believe I would have made these mistakes if I had not really allowed myself to play this as a demo account and not real money. I also know that I'm getting some real 50K accounts, and I would never trade like this in those. I would never trade like this with my real money. In fact, the way I've been trading has been in the mindset of real money. For some reason today, and I'm still digging deep to understand why, I decided to break a few rules. One of the rules I broke was adding too big too soon. I'm going to start showing you where trade 6 comes into play right here.
Technology.
We're up a couple $100, and I'm scalping as normal, 1 micro at a time. This is how I trade. I'll add 2, sometimes 3, scalp out, and I won't go usually larger than 5. Well, I had started this trade with 2. There's nothing wrong with that. I scalped out of 1 here, and when it came back down, I decided to add 4 and go 5. At this point, I should have scalped out of, say, 3 or 4 of them when it popped up. I only sold 1, held 4, and when it came back down, I added again. This is the wrong place to add when I'm at 5. In fact, when I added 5 right here, and if it were to continue down, I would have really had to figure out how I was going to play this. I would have probably tried it the same exact way I did, which is everything that I did, including more mistakes. So what's the number one problem? Number one problem is I shouldn't have been long 5 right here, and I should have sold more when it popped up here. And if I were going to add, I should have let it come down here, and this should have been my target to add, not here, right? Not here. And so I added too big, didn't sell enough when it popped up, added back too early. That's the beginning of my mistakes on this particular trade. The mistakes continue. Somewhere down here at this pivot, I know I need to do some kind of adjusting, scaling, scalping. Pretty typical at a pivot level like this. This was the low of the day. Price comes down to the low of the day, and I add. And then it sweeps and bounces up. When it sweeps and bounces up, I should have tried to break even on that add right there somehow. Because I didn't get in the right spot, I should have waited for a liquidity sweep, number one. So I added too soon. I didn't wait for the liquidity sweep where I should have added. I missed this bounce up for a nice scalp out of that ad, and the whole thing was not timed and not synced properly. So not only did I add too soon, miss the liquidity sweep bounce, and the break even when price continued to roll down even lower, I should have reduced my size right here. See, I should have exited trade or reduced my size right here, thinking, okay, this is not done going down, I'm too heavy, especially with 10 contracts. Could have easily reduced it to 5 if I had to hold 5. And then when I'm down here, instead of adding 10, being long 20, I could have been long 10 and only added 5. So again, this area compounds the problem. Problem starts up here by getting too big and not adjusting properly, not selling the majority of it when it pops, adding back lower, starting off too big to begin with. And then I get down here, I add too early, miss the liquidity sweep add, therefore the bounce sell, and then I don't break even on some as it comes back down and continues down. I hold the add, I hold the extra. Do not hold the extra. Break even or take a small loss on that. You don't know how low it's going to go. All right. Then, because I'm holding 10, I add 10 more instead of just 5, and I double up and I hold this whole thing here, and then I miss. This is a major problem. Usually I'm good at this. When it pops up, I sell. Usually I sell. I missed this scalp up here because my mind was on my mind was distracted by the idea that I'm under break even. My break even price is this yellow line for everything. If this would have went up to break even, I could have sold and not had a single loss or a single penny drawdown. It would have been perfectly balanced for break even that day because I hadn't sold anything yet. This trade started right over here in this yellow circle, and all of this trade, all these sells were profitable. The sell up here was profitable. The sell right here was profitable. So every time I'm selling, it's a profit. Nothing's drawn down yet. And so when I start adding here, 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 and here, all the way up to here, I missed this. I didn't want to sell here because I was under the break-even price, and I didn't want to take any drawdown on the net loss, which would have lowered my $2,500 threshold, which wasn't very much. Okay? And so that was a miscalculation. Go ahead and sell it. When it comes back down, add. When it comes back up, sell it again. This is my status quo. This is how I run. This is how I operate. This my normal trading style and system relies heavily on my ability to scalp when I'm supposed to scalp. And because I didn't scalp here, I wasn't able to add down here. And by the time it got down here, it hit the $2,500 maximum drawdown. So I would have blown the account. I would have blown the 50K Apex account if I had it today. All right. And it didn't get much lower than that. This is the low. So it would have locked me out. It would have closed out my positions. I would have blown the account. It went down to like $2,600 or $2,700 right here. And you're only allowed $2,500 drawdown on a 50K account. But if I had scalped here, added down here, and scalped here, this would have never, if I would have sold my position up here like I was supposed to, this would have never hit my maximum drawdown. Let me say that again in this video so I understand the importance of taking small net losses to avoid blowing up the account. If I had sold 10 here, because I was long 20 right here, if I had sold 10 here, when it got to this point, I would not have been blowing up the $2,500 threshold. I would have been able to scalp again here and probably would have took it here. And I would have been able to sell some here. I would have lowered my average price and I would have been a lot better off. This was a huge mistake. This was a huge mistake. So what I ended up doing is I had 20 here, blew the account here. Next time it went up to this level, I did sell. I sold 5, right? And then I bought 5 back, sold 5 again, and I started my scalping process. This whole time was nothing but me trying to scalp my way out of debt. And by the time I closed my position over here, I started to short. That's what these orange ones are. I shorted over here on this side. This big orangey yellow circle right here is me closing the long side. And then the very first, I'll show this in greater detail. The top orange one was me beginning to short. I had 10 short, 10 short, 20 short. I was short like 40 or short 20. I shorted 5, I shorted 5, 10, I shorted 20. And then I just closed everything when it came down. And I actually did make some money on that short side. So I closed 9 minutes before the market was closing, the 4 o'clock market. You could still be in this after hours. I didn't realize that. I know that's true, but I wasn't thinking like that. Probably could have held it for a longer dip and probably would have made all my money back because I lost $300 today. If I would have held a little longer, I would have been, I would have been break even. $300 is nothing compared to $2,700. Okay, let's take a look at trade 6 a little bit more here into some of the scalping area where I transitioned from going long to going short. It's important that I take a look at this. These are all the scalps that I did trying to reduce my losses, cut my net loss down, bring the lowered the average price. Here's where it blew up right here. Here's where I missed the scalp at the top sign. Because I missed that, this is where it blew up. And then I did finally scalp some here, and I started scalping here. I bought back, I sold here. I should have sold over here, added back, sell it again here. That's a huge mistake. And then I add back, sell higher. I start adding here, and I add here, okay, and then I start selling here, and this was a little teeny scalp. I mean, I'm desperate at this point. I'm scalping whatever I get my hands on. I add, sell, add, sell, add, and this was just, we're getting towards the, half an hour left of the day, and I'm scalping 10 at a time for little tiny profits. I was down $2,600 over here, okay, $2,700. We ended with negative 300 today. So I made back with all this scalping, all those unrealized losses. Okay. It's just ridiculous amounts of scalping right here. Okay. And I can't tell you how much in commissions. So I finally closed the position right here. And I think I was down like 700 or 600, maybe 500 right here. And then I started scalping. Boom, 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 short. 10, 10, 20. Up here I was short 40 altogether. Short 40 altogether. And when it came down right here, I sold everything for a couple $100. That's why we're down 300 instead of 550 or something like that. Okay, this could have easily kept going up, and I could have ended up being down 2,000. Absolutely. It could have kept dropping right here when it blew up. It could have kept dropping right here. I could have been down, 4,000 or 5,000. Let's keep that in mind. In reality, I wouldn't have traded like this with real money. That's the thing also. That's the thing. I wouldn't have traded like this with real money. I know I wouldn't have. I would not have. So why did I do it in this demo account? I needed to be reminded. I know I needed to be reminded. I needed to be reminded how easy it is to slip up and really make mistakes on this thing. It's incredibly important that we remember how easy it is from just a couple of little mistakes, adding too much and not scaling properly, not adding in sync and not scalping properly, and then holding the trade when it goes wrong, and then adding and holding, not scalping when I'm supposed to scalp, missing opportunities. And this is all because I think it all started with just the idea that I can handle anything. I can get bigger now. And this is the kind of day that'll teach you your limitations and your insecurities and reality. Because the reality is I still have flaws in my decision making on when to scalp, when to add, and how big to be. So I can avoid all that by just setting a rule that I don't really like to go more than 5. Let 5 be my maximum. And when it goes against me like this, I got to get out of some immediately. Here's what I will do in the future. If I want to go 5 and I'm starting to scalp out of 5, right here at this particular time, right here, I could have easily changed this to be a positive day, right? I could have, instead of selling 1, I could have sold 4, right? Bought back 1 here and been long 2 instead of 5. Added 1 down here and been long 3. If it goes against me, I can sell 1 or sell 2 and be long 1, right? Instead of 10. Be long 1 instead of 10. This whole thing could have been managed so much better. So much better. If I want to go long 5 here, I need to sell the majority of it when it pops up. Let's get this down in my mind. I want to laminate this into my mind for next time, because I have 2 50,000K accounts waiting for me to start trading. If I would have made this mistake on the first day, I could have been trading those today. I honestly don't think I would have done this if I was in those 2 accounts. I kind of think that I had the mentality of, let's just play around today. Don't take it too seriously. You know you're going into the new accounts coming up, and let's just goof around here. Who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and make 5 grand today and be able to show off on the videos how good I am. What? That's probably what I was thinking. Instead, I got a reality check on just how weak I can be when I'm not careful and when I'm not serious about my trading. This is unusual for me to trade like this. Okay? I have been very, very good at keeping my size under control and scalping immediately and when to add. And by the grace of God, I'm not trying to brag on myself. I'm just saying something weird happened today, and I just think it has a lot to do with me wanting to just goof around today, because I know that I'm going into the real 50K evals coming up in the next couple of days. So I wasn't taking this demo very seriously, but I do want to get it on record. I do want to expose it myself. I do want to be honest and transparent about what happened and what I'm going through. I don't want to make myself look better than I really am, and I want to be honest first and foremost with myself about my trading, because if I'm lying to myself, that's pretty bad. There's never going to be any real true excellence in my trading skills, because I just can't even be honest with myself about it. That's ridiculous. So this was a big mistake. It could have been a lot worse than down $300. It could have been a minus $5,000 day. Could have been. So I need to digest this, ruminate on this, incubate this, and I need to internalize this and learn this and get this down into myself and make some serious transitions and transformations. This has been an excellent learning experience. I really got to see some things that I'm pretty sure I can make changes for the better. All right. So down $300, we're still within striking distance for a reality of being consistently profitable. So I still thank God, and I hope that I continue to grow. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be honest with yourself. The only one you're fooling is yourself if you're not. All right, peace.